For voters, there's no bigger issue than the economy, and the Harris campaign can't be happy to be closing with the worst jobs report in 4 years. U.S. employers just added a measly 12,000 jobs in October, and this isn't very reassuring. Harris is once again acting totally clueless on what her first executive action would be.
Day one, what's your first executive action?
Well, my first priority, which will be probably the package of bills, is about bringing down the cost of living.
Donald Trump wasting no time explaining how he will fix Kamala's poor economy.
On day one, I will sign an executive order directing every federal agency to immediately remove every single burdensome regulation driving up the cost of goods. I will create a new cabinet position for a senior member of my administration who will be tasked exclusively with doing everything in the federal government's power to reduce the cost of living.
Jessica, I thought that Kamala really thought that Bidenomics was working. And when I saw the 12,000 jobs, I thought must be for a county or maybe a state, but it's for the whole country.
Yeah, no, it was definitely disappointing in comparison, actually, to the gangbusters reports that we've been having. And there were some big strikes, like at Boeing, and the impacts of the hurricanes is what economists are saying largely contributed to this. But they certainly have a good economic record to run on, and they have been, which is why she has completely decimated his lead on the economy. I don't know if you guys saw the new Marist polls across the blue wall states, which are the keys to the kingdom for the Democrats. But Trump only has a lead of 1 point. I believe in Michigan, and 2 points in Wisconsin, or in Pennsylvania, it is, I think, a little bit, 3 or 4 points in Wisconsin. And that's because she is messaging on this nonstop. And Donald Trump is messaging on anti-trans issues. And that ad that shows during the football, I get it. That is a good ad that says she's for they, them, and Donald Trump is for you. But if you are running in a general election and it's the economy, stupid, and has been the entire time, why are you talking about trans issues as your number one issue? The other thing that keeps sticking out to me as very strange, and maybe someone has the answer, is why are there so many reports of missing ground game on the part of the Republicans? Out of parts of Arizona, out of parts of Michigan, in Pennsylvania, the Democrats have knocked on 13 million doors across the battleground states, and in October alone made 100 million phone calls from their phone banking. You don't hear that, and then you see like Charlie Kirk losing his mind during one of his telecasts or YouTube casts. I don't know what the right term of it is. And he says, what is going on? All these women are voting on top of it. I think the early vote's been 54% female on top of it. But where's the game? I thought Charlie Kirk was going to be delivering that.
Well, what you didn't know, Jessica, is they may have maybe knocked
There's
on
some
13 million doors, but 12 million people shut them in your face.
That's really not true. Have you seen the footage of the conversations?
Have you seen the Ring camera footage, Jessica? Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. You're throwing a lot of stuff out here. No one cares about Marist. Marist was dead wrong in the last election, and I bet they will again.
Are you getting me
too.
Big Village or the guy
I'm
with the bow tie?
asking this woman, what is your first thing you're going to do on the job executive action? And she can't name it. She can't even name it. She's talking about what she's going to do in Congress. When Biden got in, I remember that video. They have about 16 stacks of things he was signing. They just handed it to him. He didn't even know what he was signing. One of them, I remember, was tearing up Trump's border policies. That was a good one. And the other one was about equity. So she should know what your priority is on day one, because actually day one's right now, because she still has the power to do whatever she wants. I haven't heard her talk about the economy at all. Maybe because I don't live in Michigan or Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. But if I were Kamala Harris and we watch her speeches, she never talks about Bidenomics. She never talks about all these great things that they did in the last 4 years. And she doesn't talk about what she's going to do in the next 4 years. She just talks about being a middle-class person and how Donald Trump's a fascist.
You know, Martha, she says that she's going to attack the economy and make it better on the first day, except the last answer I heard when they asked her how she was going to do it, she started with the middle class nonsense. But, you know, you really want a president who is caring and empathic and has a heart. She's sending a message that she is uncaring, that she's going to make you wait. The fact that you are living paycheck to paycheck, she's not going to do anything for you until day one. So you can suffer. And if you elect her, then she'll do something for you. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's really difficult for her that she was standing out in front of the White House the other night, and she does own the record of the last 3 years. One of the things that keeps striking me are these downward revisions. They're crazy. I mean, you had in August 800,000 jobs. I mean, what kind of agency? Can you imagine how much we're paying for that agency to come up with these numbers that they then corrected by 800,000? Look at August. They revised down 81,000. September, down 31,000. So the jobs that people thought were on the books were not. And that's the answer to the question, why do people say they don't feel like things are getting better? And the administration and the Harris campaign keep telling them that, oh, actually things are going really well for you. And they say, I remember some guy on a boardwalk was asked this question. He laughed. He's like, don't tell me how I'm experiencing my own life and what I have to pay for things. Prices are up 20%. But obviously the cost of living issue is something that's polling importantly. They're both using that phrase, Trump and Harris, in these final days. But the difference is that Harris is talking about what she's going to give you, $25,000 for this, $5,000 for that. Now, that can be very persuasive with a lot of voters. Trump is saying, I'm going to slice and dice regulations from the book. That's going to help businesses to thrive. They're going to hire people, and your wages are going to go up, which is what happened the last time around. So they have both experiences to compare. One is I'm going to give you some money. The other is I'm going to stimulate the economy. We'll see who wins out.
But Greg, in addition to that, people remember the Trump years as being better than these last 4 years economically.
True, true. As for the Democrats' ground game, their ground game is just getting the dead to vote. The only jobs that the Dems have created are those people who make the yellow tape that goes around crime scenes, and perhaps male nannies, because I think young moms see Doug Emhoff and go, I'm not taking the risk. So that may account for the 10,000 votes, the 10,000 jobs, which is going to be really hard to downgrade from 10,000. It has been a good record, an economy for rich liberals. You know, why did Bill Clinton have to make the argument that a bad economy under Biden and Kamala is not a good reason to vote for Trump? Why did he do that? Maybe because he's right. For him, for Clooney, for Springsteen, for J-Lo, for Kimmel. When you're rich and famous, bad economies are never a problem. You already spent $100,000 on a private jet to Europe, $100 for breakfast at Four Seasons. All the things that matter to the voter, cost of living, crime, illegal immigration, has no effect whatsoever on the people who wish you would ignore those issues. They could, after the election, they can go back to their secure estate, but you're screwed.
I can actually refute that. It's more than $100 per person at the Four Seasons.
Really?
Yes,
Thank
it's at
you.
least $120.
Oh, thank you.
For adding that.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.